Holy
Jesus.
cannoli, we're live. You're about to get a taste.
I should have just put the pyro right quick just so they could hear it.
Pew, 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 pew. Nah, it's fine.
And important goodies to all of you Ramble Maniacs and all you BC aliens out there. And it goes a little something like this.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Ramblemania Show probably brings to you the desire one half of the longest reigning Ramblemania Show tag team champions of all the time, the Angela Death 6XL. Joining me as always,
Tis I, your former 14-time Ramblemania champion, other half of the longest reigning Ramblemania tag team champions of all the times, of all the universes, of all the cosmos. TJ the Great 2. TJ the Great.
mm-hmm.
I'm your former inaugural Ramblemania Tag Team Champion. You're then now forever Ramblemania Hardcore Champion. But I am still your reigning 12-time Ramblemania Heavyweight Champion. I am Hazel the iZombie. And this is our AEW Double or Nothing 2024 live review here on the Ramblemania Show. We're going to go into detail and rate every match that took place on AEW Double or Nothing 2024, which was a 10-match card that took place at the MGM Grant. We ended the pay-per-view with another tie, so we had to do a sim with myself and Kate. Oh, I didn't. It's up here. You guys look down there at the ticker. That was the official scoreboard.
Yep.
We had to end it in a simulation, which had me retain. Going into now, we will be defending this championship at Shinihun Pro Wrestle's Dominion, Sunday, June 9th. It's going to be one hell of an event at Osaka Joe Hall. But we are here to talk about everything that took place within this event that was at the MGM Grant. One hell of a pay-per-view that we got to witness, even though there's still a major issue to take place with this whole entire show.
Tony Khan will pay for his crime.
You
That
really
shit
got
was
to
way
stop
too
with
long,
this
bro.
goddamn 10-12 match card we got. Put it to an end. It is getting on people's nerves.
Yeah, on everybody, my bad. Yeah, on everybody now. TJ, you go with that? You're not complaining?
No, I'm fine with 10 to 12. Like, the show was long. It was very long, but I'm not complaining that much about that.
That's what she said, but yeah.
My problems lie elsewhere with the show.
Yeah. Now, my beef is literally my biggest problem was literally just with the length of the show. By the end of it, I'm just like, fuck this shit. I need to do something else right quick.
It's long, but they don't. It's whatever.
It was definitely a long show, very long hours. But again, it's one of those where it's like
very horizontal,
very big pay-per-view. So kind of makes sense for it to be this lengthy as it could be. But 4.5 hours, you're killing us here, Tony. Like, I mean, I would have been okay with just 4 flat.
Yeah. Uwu Yoshi, by the way. Uwu.
Tighten up some. That's all. Like that's every time I say it. Like that's why I'm not really on it, because like all I really have to say about it is tighten up a little bit. You can get out at 4. It's okay.
Yeah. And Moshi Yoshi. I'm not even that tired. I just don't want to yell so much tonight.
I'm hungry, to be honest, but that'll be all right. I'll eat later.
But we are not going to be talking about the 2 buy-in matches that took place. So we are just going to get right underway with the entire review. Yeah. With that being said, submitted to the approval of the Ramblemania Show. This is the tale of why were there too many interferences at this damn show.
That was a problem.
That's the big issue.
And with that being said, are you gentlemen ready?
Yes.
I was born ready, goddammit.
Oh, wait, that's not how that shit goes. Wait, I can't do that shit. Hold on.
We're there.
Are you ready?
Yes.
No! Hazel, are you ready?
As the champion, I will always be ready.
I said, are you ready?
Nigga, we've been ready.
Yeah.
For the thousands in attendance and the
God
millions
damn it.
watching at home. Ooh, oh, let's get ready to ramble.
We've been out here.
Ramble.
It's time that we open up our Double or Nothing main card with the International Championship, and that is Roderick Strong defending his belt against Will Ospreay. The match was 17 minutes, 40 seconds. It will be TJ and 6, and then myself. So, TJ, begin the rambling, brother.
I blame you for this, by the way, Young Wolf. All the House of Torture style bullshit happening on AEW shows. You keep trying to bring these motherfuckers in, and I'm telling you, no, send them over to the World Wrestling Federation. That's who can use them. Anyway, Ospreay and Roddy Strong. This is one of those combinations of guys that you know just isn't going to generate anything less than fucking fire.
Yeah.
Ospreay's on top of his game, probably the hottest star in the company right now. Roddy is on a decades-long running model of consistency. Dude never has a bad match, ever.
Mhm.
What I really liked here is how the Messiah of the backbreaker didn't even need to target the back because Ospreay had other injuries to hone in on. So he was every bit as effective at that. There is a slight flaw, and it ends up being the running flaw of the show, in that there is a good degree of schmozziness and interference in this, with the Kingdom running in and then Wardlow running in and getting caught. Like, you get caught running in AEW, you definitely fucked up because you get away with anything there. And the Undisputed Kingdom run in, that could be expected. And I suppose even the Don Callis bit where he comes in and he's like, you have to use the Tiger Driver, kill him, break his neck. It's necessary. You have to do it. And
Break his neck.
You
or
have
he'll
to
break
follow the
your back.
rules.
you have to follow the rules. Kill him. But again, putting both those things together, the Kingdom and Callis, mildly excessive. And then when you factor in just how much of the rest of the show is going to have interference on it, maybe more than mildly excessive. But in any case, I think the Don bit at least fuels the story of Ospreay eventually breaking off from Don, since, you know, he didn't listen to Don. He didn't use the Tiger Driver, and he still won. So that's sort of telling you, you know, Ospreay doesn't really need him. So yeah, I thought this was a fucking hell of an opener. Bars straight up. Like, again, you can expect nothing less from these two calibers of wrestler. And the Callis story will probably pick up, and I hope the Undisputed story picks up, because again, we were wondering where a certain guy was, and he just showed up right after this.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
bring that up later. Before that, you're probably right about this, CJ, because Don Callis did say earlier that he has a contract this Wednesday. So I wonder who's going to be taking that contract from Don Callis.
Yes,
Could it be OC? Because he's been talking about him.
I have
I
been
know.
recruiting him.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But go ahead, Six.
Yeah. I remember when this match started, we were just like, is this how the fuck we starting this show? This is crazy. Super excited, super hype, super, like, I was just, you know, I mean, it's an Ospreay match, and not only that, but then on top of that, you got the fact that it's fucking Roderick Strong popping up. That motherfucker's a beast, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations where, like, I was like, damn, we doing this now, but at the same time, I was kind of glad that we were doing it now. Yeah, like more or less, I'm gonna echo a bit of TJ's sentiments. I do feel like he did still target the back, even though, you know what I'm saying. You said not as much, yeah, not as much, but he still targeted the shit out of that back.
He the Messiah. He gonna do it.
Yeah, he was out here being fucking his, like I said, his whole moveset, Bane. You know what I'm saying? Batman tight every time he sees this motherfucker. He's like, really, my guy? Yo, that was funny that Hazel was lighting that, and then it just looked like a prayer light. It was crazy. It looked like a candle being lit. Anyways, yeah, nah. So match was decent. I mean, Ospreay can't have a bad match. I've never seen Ospreay, so long as I've been, you know, watching him, have a bad match. So it was exactly what you get from Ospreay match. Action packed, a bunch of moves you probably ain't never seen before, and if you have, you're like, holy shit, that's fire. And again, my only problem is the same thing T said. You know, we ain't need all the motherfuckers in there. And then the crazy thing is that to top it all off, right? At the end of the day, everybody ended up fucking getting. Well, Roddy ended up getting fucked up and all that shit, anyways. And then you know what happened after the match. So, entrances was good. I give this match probably high good. Nah, I gotta give it a bars just because fucking Ospreay he be doing shit that I don't be knowing what the fuck that is, and I'm just like, he just did a flippy thing into that other flippy thing that went left, and then he went right, and then I don't even know how he called himself there. There was one thing that scared me though. One thing that scared me. I think it was Matt Taven.
Yes, you're talking about the fucking spot with the Frankenstein on the outside.
Killed himself.
Yeah, he almost
dive,
like shit.
The dive, yeah, that shit was spooky. But again, where the fuck was Adam Cole?
We'll talk about that in a minute. TJ, would you get this match again?
Bars.
Okay. I think we're all in a unanimous decision here. This is definitely getting a bars. Why you got Roderick Strong doing his entrance, and then Will's like, fuck this, bro. Blah! But he ducks the shit, and I'm like, yo, Roddy's been watching tapes. Yeah. And I've never seen these two wrestle each other before, so it's like, this is the first. Yo, I was just about to bring that up. When this nigga Roddy was about to do the heartache, this nigga went UI mode and just landed on feet. And I was just like, no wonder why this man is unbelievable at the shit that he does. Yo, but this match was fun. This match was just so much fun. I enjoyed Don's commentary. I enjoyed the chemistry that these two had. They weren't pulling out all the big shit until like the very end. Like you knew that it was basically Don like, do the Tiger Driver, break his fucking neck. He's gonna break your back and spinal, break his neck. And it's just
kill him.
You know, that one moment where you're sitting there contemplating where you want to listen to this man, like, I'm gonna do it. Nope, Stormbreaker. It was still fun. Again, I hate Wardlow. I hate Wardlow. Why are you here? Fuck. And yeah, Matt Taven, stop doing shit over the top rope. You almost died. I don't know if you were smoking or something, but that was pretty scary.
Fine, just
I still think that the fact that this had to be the opener, I was a little shocked. I was expecting something else to open the show, but whatever. I'm okay with this. We want to get the crowd hot, and I think we got what we want to hear. Yeah, I'm definitely also giving this a bars. This was a unanimous rating out of all of us. This was all, and again, this is a prime example of Tony Khan bringing in these guys that he signed, making them fucking white hot, and now everybody that he signed so far going into 2024, Okada, Mercedes, Ospreay, get them now, 2-3 months later.
I'm getting paper.
Bars.
Yeah.
Next match, we had the Bang Bang Gang defending their AEW and Ring of Honor Unified World Trio 6-man Tag Team Championships against the returning Death Triangle. The match was 12 minutes and 20 seconds.
Wait. Are we not going to talk about the segment that happened in between?
Thank you for reminding me. So before we get to that match, this is the weirdest thing. Right after Will Ospreay walks out of the arena, out of nowhere, we go to commentary for 30 seconds. Adam Cole's music hits, and all of us are like, why didn't you interfere? How come you didn't help out your friend? These aren't your friends. You're only here for yourself. And he comes out. He looks like he's ready to go because he hasn't wrestled in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
The injury that took place in Queens, the ankle. Comes back, does the heel shtick. You know what I got to say about Vegas? I hate this stinking town. It sucks. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I should have hung out with the Kingdom. I should have helped Roddy and all this bullshit. He pulls out the masks and he starts saying more stuff about the masks and all this shit and brings up MJF tidbits.
You was wondering too. You were like, what is that in his pocket? I remember.
Yeah, because I didn't know at first because I'm thinking to myself, all right, we're gonna get to that later, right? Because he's just gonna be rambling. And that was my main concern. That's why I was telling TJ, like, yo, this shit could end at 1 because we're gonna be rambling here, right? Takes the mask out, says what he needed to say, and then all of a sudden, music hits. We get footage from this man's home in Plainview, Long Island. He gets the ring. He doesn't get the scarf. He looks at his suit, and he looks at his Burberry scarf, and takes the picture out of the suit of Adam Cole. And the other half, him, and Adam Cole is sitting there like, music hits, eyeballs bulging out, and he's like, oh shit.
They should have played YouTube, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh no, definitely, because look at how this motherfucker came out. This nigga literally came out 2002 Triple H.
TJ, just imagine.
The leather jacket, the denim vest.
I was there. I don't ever need to hear that song again.
You were there at the Garden?
Yeah, I was there when Triple H came
I
out.
was not.
I wish I was there.
I wish
man.
I went to that one too.
I was watching that shit with my big brother, to be honest, at home.
I was there.
But no,
I heard that song 50,000 times.
Yeah.
It was just like, gets into the ring, we get the hug, dick kick, and then he opens it up the way that Punk opened it up when Cena was laying on the table during the pipe bomb. Like, why you lay there unconsciously of whatever, all that shit, and then the rambling begins. I really thought for a minute when he said, I'm better than you and you know it, we were done. But no, we were just getting started.
It's MJF. He doesn't know how to just get in and get out. That's not what he does.
So yeah, I did peek the ending of the promo when I missed it because that's when when the computer froze. So yeah, the Wolf of Wrestling, he's not fucking going anywhere.
I'm not fucking leaving. Did him with the Leo. Did him with the Leo DiCaprio.
Leaving. You guys' thoughts on this promo and the return of this man after being gone for what appeared to be 5.5 months?
That shit was insane. I was excited. The shit talking. Once he took the 2 pictures and said, no, and mirrored them, that shit was dope. Yep. Then, he comes out with the Triple H gear, cuts a whole ass promo, and it was like, it was still kind of heelish. So I don't know which way they're gonna end up, but it leaning more towards face because I guess Adam Cole's gonna be the heel in whatever the situation is after what he did. So yeah,
I'm still seeing him as like MJF. I'm still seeing him as the tweener because he can say all his face stuff, but he's still gonna give shit to the crowd. And Jordan, we'll talk about the fire later.
Yeah. Double or Nothing was good, Johnny. Max being back is obviously good. He's a major star. He probably had the biggest fucking pop at anybody's entrance on the show. His music hit. Yeah, I think when it comes to MJF content eating, it's gotta be WWE. Yeah, you know people are gonna talk shit. Why are you fucking mention Vince McMahon and wearing the Triple H jacket?
Shut up.
Go. Whatever.
It got a big pop. Who fucking cares?
Nobody cares. More importantly than all of that, MJF is obviously a major star. Like I said, when he left at World's End, like he proved himself as a top guy. So now you have a ready-made top guy slotting in amongst the scene of Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay, all these other guys that are hanging around now. Like he makes the roster stronger. And I think that's what really interests me about him. Because obviously I think they're gonna low-key speed run this Undisputed Kingdom feud. They're just gonna run through MJF, running through them. They're gonna break it up. They're gonna have him wrestle Cole or whatever. Maybe it all in because that would be a good parallel.
That's what I was
to the
saying
last match.
Last night too. Like we could have that match again at All In.
Yeah, so they'll probably do that as a parallel to them wrestling last year. And yeah, I think in terms of whether he's a heel or a face, probably leaning face, but I think he'll probably be face because like he got so over the last year, and why really change that? But doing the things that made MJF, and insulting people and doing all that shit because you can't stray too far away from what makes people like you. And if what makes people like you is being a dickhead, then you got to be a dickhead a little bit. So yeah, MJF, great return. Whatever noise you might have heard about him over the last year, like don't pay attention to none of that. Like, listen to what the people are saying, and they were very, very, very happy to see him back.
Hell yeah. Look at him,
Yeah.
man. I'm watching it right now, and the crowd is going absolutely insane, man. I love watching that shit. I just like the passion that he came out with, man. I felt like, but I mean, like, I feel like you come back from an injury like that, and all you got is like fire and passion, especially after you've been building yourself and working hard on yourself and trying to make yourself the best version of yourself. And then you come back like that and you fucking talk your shit.
And I was gonna say, I think he knows. I think he knows that the landscape is different now. Shit has changed. The level of competition is up. So that's another boom for him to come back.
He's got fire. He's got that fire in his stomach, man.
You think he did the Cena rehabilitation? Because remember, he went out with a rotator cuff, and them rotator cuffs take a year to heal. Remember how John Cena took a while because of his rotator cuff, and then 4 months later he just shows up at the Royal Rumble and wins?
I mean, listen, he might have drank his juice. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm thinking MJF might have done the same thing because, I mean, come on.
Well, it could also be certain. They give you certain medications and stuff. Yeah,
he's
they give you certain medications. Like when you get injuries, they give you certain types of steroids, but not like that, like medical steroids.
Not anabolic steroids, not the athletic kind. The ones that has to heal you to get back into rehabilitation quicker.
Yes. I think you catch a stroke and they got to give you for your face and shit like that.
And I think the main thing is, it doesn't matter.
I think Alicia Tal just has a magic touch or something. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Alicia Tal.
Man, listen, MJF is a very lucky man. You know what I'm saying? Very lucky dude, bro.
All right, now we can get on with the trios match.
Nothing important.
Now we'll get on with the trios match. That was 12 minutes and 20 seconds. So go ahead, TJ. Let's ramble.
Death Triangle rules. All right. You understand me? They're the fucking best. And the Guns are very fun heels. They are mastering the art of getting their asses kicked. I always talk about that in wrestling. In order to be a effective heel, one of the things is to be good at getting your ass kicked. I like having fun watching the Guns getting their ass kicked. I have fun with that. Yeah. So that's good. Ray Phoenix is a shot in the arm for any wrestling show he appears on. So it's great to have him and Penta rocking shit again.
He slipped during the entrance.
He did.
That's not. I felt bad for that because
I chuckled a bit. It was Penta's fault for spitting all that water in the center.
It's fine. It's no big deal. But yes, given its position after MJF's big return, this match sort of fell into like a TV style level out the crowd type deal. But given the talent involved, it still worked because like Pac and Jay White are obviously like main event level talents. So this shit cooked up. And again, the other thing, another match with interference. But I probably got the least amount of issue with this one as opposed to many of the other ones because of the fact that, well, it's bringing back Juice Robinson, facilitating the victory for Bang Bang Gang. It's fine. Again, the issue is the fact that in a vacuum, it works fine. In the context of the full show where you're doing interference all over the place, maybe fall back some. But yeah, I'm going to give this a solid good.
Good. All right. This match was fucking crazy. I was not expecting for these motherfuckers to go so hard with all the crazy like triple moves and I like, man, there were certain spots here where I was just like, I have no idea how the fuck they came up with like, let me just set up this whole situation, run around, and then I'm gonna fucking super kick you while this motherfucker catches you later. And the amount of destroyers and flippies and I mean, all these, these guys are young and shit. So you know what I'm saying? They out here fucking, and of course you got luchadors. So you got here people just being extremely athletic. For what it was, exciting ass match. I feel like, I don't know, was missing something to make it just a little bit, just that little thing to make it just fly over the top. The near falls were okay. I feel like they weren't to the point where I was like biting, and I feel like that's when I really like it, when the near falls are like really good. I'm gonna just give this one high good.
Super fun for what it was. I really enjoyed it. My main issue is I think it's time to get rid of the scissor trios titles already because I'm just walking around with props at this point. Like, what happens if I lost the other 2 titles? Are you guys just gonna walk around with those pink titles forever? Like, I'm just saying.
It's whatever.
But watching this whole match, it was still fun. It was nice to see Death Triangle back in full form again. My issue was this is basically what we saw on Saturday.
Yeah.
With the Lucha Bros and the Guns. Just now with Pac and Jay White getting involved, adding all the extra shit, all the extra elements that we were supposed to get. That's why this match felt more lengthy than when it did on Saturday. Like on Saturday, it felt like it was 8 minutes. This one, they just said, we're going to give you an extra 4 minutes to go out there, do what you needed to do, blah, blah, all this other stuff. Again, this show is starting to look like a serial killer with this fucking pattern of constant interferences. It's like, the fuck, bro? But
it is
again,
what
like
it is.
Like TJ said, this one didn't make a lot of sense because we have been asking for Juice to make his return for a while. The question was when. Now that the time happened, we could let that go. But, you know, going forward, there has been a lot more excessive interferences throughout this entire show. Like this one, I'm gonna let slide, but it's still an issue. Like I said, this just became a fucking pattern throughout the 4.5 hours that we had to sit here and watch this damn show. Like literally, TJ, you weren't here. I had to tell 6, literally like 7 out of 10 matches.
I know the number.
Had interference.
I'm very aware.
Yeah.
And I even told him there's only one match that I can honestly say I'm okay with all the interference because it made the most sense.
Yeah. That one I feel like it was okay. It was part of the story, like you said.
Just fuck. But I'm still gonna give the match. I'm gonna give the match 3 3/4. Still fun because you know flippy shit, the lucha shit, the hard style, the catch can, all that shit. Honestly, now with Juice back in the picture, we might just commence the whole fucking Freebird rule. And I think this could separate to Jay White and Pac going 1-on-1 with each other.
One thing I just saw, my bad, Hazel. One thing I just saw that I didn't mention was that goddamn DDT cell that fucking Pac took, or whatever the fuck it was, where he just started like shaking, like upside down.
Oh my god,
body twisted and just like, oh, that shit was nasty.
If there's one person that I can honestly say knows how to do tree bumps, that's fucking Pac. He could literally just stand on his head for like a second and drop. I'm like, holy shit,
nasty work.
And yo, a lot of the spots here were absolutely insane. Like these motherfuckers, this entire show, these motherfuckers came to bump. I'm telling you right now, everybody came to bump. Indeed, Nick's Mitch. Timeless Toni Storm defends her AEW Women's Championship against Serena Deeb with Luther and Mariah May at her corner. This one did not have any interference whatsoever, and it was 15 flat. Go ahead, TJ, ramble on.
No interference, but still schmoziness. This match went about 5 to 8 minutes of trying to position Serena Deeb as a babyface before everyone finally just gave up and said, fuck it. They love Toni too much. So they switched it, and Deeb went heel, and it worked much better. Crowd investment went way up, matched the work they were doing, which was good from start. And they had a very hot finish. Even more schmoziness, though, like I said, Mariah threatens to throw in the towel at one point because Serena, once she engages heel mode, does what she was doing to girls fucking last year when she was around and just beating her fucking knee in. So Mariah goes into throwing the towel, but then Luther stops her. But then Toni sees Luther with the towel and thought it was him. So that, for story purposes, I am fine with the schmoziness. But again, 3 straight pay-per-view matches with schmoziness.
Yeah.
We haven't had a clean one yet.
Yeah.
Excessive. Apart from that, the double Storm Zero to secure the kill was great. And this cemented Toni's current run of very, very good defenses. Like a while back, I was saying, I hope Toni can find the balance of character and in wrestling. And I feel like over the last couple of matches in pay-per-view, she has found it, and it's been very good for her, which is partially why she's turning babyface. But yeah, Mariah, Mariah coming for her. So I'm on the lookout. This is going to be a good and a half.
This match was what I expected, more or less. I was like, I feel like it's going to be a good one. I don't know. Well, first I said great, but I was like, maybe a good one. You know what I'm saying? Yo, they killed this shit. They killed this shit. The crowd was behind it all. I can't think of a dead spot. Serena Deeb is just, as a professional wrestler, fucking incredible. She can tie you into every single type of knot and pretzel you could fucking probably even think of, bro. You'll be a garlic knot in less than 5 minutes. Serena Deeb is an absolute beast. And of course, I'm saying all that, but at the same time, I'm not trying to shit on Toni Storm. Toni Storm is, she was in there doing every last thing she possibly could. One of those people who tends to be able to overcome shit. Again, what you said with the little slight bullshit, from the outside, it's somewhat interference, even though to me it's not technically interference like that. But I'm thankful that they switched the character roles, because to be honest, as much as I like Serena Deeb and as much as I think she's a great wrestler, the crowd just loves everything Toni Storm does. And I mean, I don't blame them, because she's fucking hilarious. She's got great character work. She knows how to tell a story in the ring. And Serena Deeb, she's very kind of stiff, kind of hard-nosed. So I understand why it was what it was. The near falls were great again. That's one of the things that I always look for, is really good near falls where I really bite, and I think that's the end. So yeah, I enjoyed this match. I'm gonna give it a high bars. Pretty much so far, not high bars, sorry, high goods. Pretty much everything so far has been either bars, well, that of course, Osprey bars. Everything else more like a high goods so far.
Yo, this match was great. I don't fuck. Probably one of the most competitive technical wrestling matches I've seen from two women. It's always nice to sit back and watch Serena Deeb fold these women like pretzels. It's amazing to see the athleticism, the storytelling that these two women could pull off here. Even though, honestly, this is one thing that I will give this whole angle a complaint about. There wasn't really a lot of build between these two. Like, yeah, they had promos together. Like, that's good enough of a build. But Toni and Mariah had sub angles while the main angle was still going on. They had to deal with the fucking Outcast because they needed to give Saraya something to do. They needed to give Harley something to do, because why? I don't know, but it made
that's what I was gonna say. I kind of like little things like that,
but it made the angle feel flat. Like, okay, after they do their little sub feud, the main feud has to kick in now. Like, it just feels overshadowed. Like, this should be the focus. We should not be focusing on two random other women that need airtime. Like, Toni needed to focus on the angle. The fact that basically she had to get in her associate's business because she's the one that's feuding with the Outcast. Okay, but kind of just takes away the purpose of what she's doing.
That is the purpose of what she's doing. She's getting more involved with Mariah.
But
that was the whole point of that.
I needed the focus to be just her and Serena. And I think they fell flat a little bit on there. But when the bell rang, everything that I'm saying now don't mean shit. Because the match was amazing. I sat there and watched for the 15 minutes that they had. It was absolutely worth the time. And I'm happy that they got this time. I don't care about, a bald guy and a blonde fighting over who's going to throw the towel. Like, that's a minor distraction. That's not really interference, because no one technically got involved. Toni just looked the other way and was like, fuck you doing? What you doing? And then, again, I just enjoyed the technicality. Yo, the fact that we've been working on Toni's leg for a hot minute, so many dragon screws, so many submissions. Like, I think it was good to be as methodical as it should be, because I wasn't looking for something fast-paced. I wasn't looking for anything extreme here coming from these women. All I just wanted to see was the wrestling. And I think they sold me on that. Go. fucking storms her off the top rope and then you finish her off right there. Nah, I don't care.
You
Serena
complained
Deeb-
about the whole build and gave it a go.
because the match was better than the fucking build.
To each their own, my guy.
See, exactly.
We who like the build and like the match
I just
said, "Oh, high goods, maybe a bars around."
didn't
This
like
man
the
said,
fucking
"Goat."
build. I like the match because it's
All
not
good.
because there wasn't any interference. There was just straight up wrestling. There was technicality. There was just a lot of
Yeah, it was really good wrestling.
manipulation. There was still a lot of things I
Manipulation.
enjoyed.
Gotcha.
And
All
the
good.
crowd was way behind it. And you're right. It was technically a double turn here because Serena was the baby face. Tony was the heel. And the crowd basically switched it up. And it made sense for it to happen. That's why I'm giving it a go. Serena Deeb basically went to heel tactics right when the crowd turned on her. And I think she kind of knew that it was coming. So, I mean, that's why I'm giving it a go. I love this match. Great women's match. Anyone else says otherwise, I don't care. Oh, Trent Beretta versus Orange Cassidy. It was 13:55. Go ahead, TJ. Rumble on.
All right, so the story of this match and for Trent in general, I like. Trent, he's out here stuck in the shadows of his best friends. He's using an evil version of the song and shit. And he blames Orange above everyone else. All right, makes sense. He goes in with the intention to kill him, to exercise his demons. Makes sense. But he's too in his own head about it. Things like Don going to recruit Orange and not him. Orange still managing to be Orange Cassidy and do shit like put his hands in his pocket, even though Trent is seemingly taking everything away from him. He fucked around and retired Chuck. He broke up the gang. Like, and Orange Cassidy is still just moving along. He brought back his old song. That pisses Trent off. I like all that. But then it gets to a point where you got to wonder, where does it go if he's not going to get his win? Like, I figured the idea was to make Don pivot from recruiting Orange to recruiting Trent. And I still think that might be the idea. But I don't know how we get there now.
Wait a minute.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Tis Mrs.
Yes.
Tribal Chief.
Mrs. Tribal Chief is in the building. Shout out.
this is in the
Lady
chat.
Tribal Chief. Gotta do it. Tribal Chief. Gotta pay respects. But yeah, that's my main issue with the match. Like I thought it told a solid story, but I just feel like where do we go with Trent now? It puts Trent in a very weird position having him lose twice like that. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a good.
Yeah, match was good. Orange Cassidy is a nut, and he was taking bumps that he didn't have to. But that's Orange Cassidy. Trent Beretta is obviously a beast in the ring, but I feel like they themselves don't know what the fuck to do with him. You feel me? The story, like you said, great story. You know, every single last best friend, everybody that was in the crew, everybody's, you know, he even came into the heel version of the Best Friends theme, which was kind of dope too, you know. And of course, like you said, with Orange Cassidy coming out to not Jane, what's the name? What's the name?
Where's my mind?
Pixies.
Where's my mind? There you go. Damn, and that's one of the songs that I used to fucking put on all the gimmicks back in the day. So I should have remembered that, but I don't. My memory is ass. But our boy Orange Cassidy, man, I feel like he's taking enough W's. What does he need another W for right now? That's, to be honest, the match itself was decent. It's just the outcome of the match to me was fucking stupid. And again, I don't want to be too critical. I don't want to be up Tony's butt because, you know, I don't know what he was thinking or what the story is going forth. But at the same time, I'm looking around like, man, Tony, what are we doing here, man? I don't understand. Like, how do we progress from here with him? Like, and then I remember at the end when he was walking off, I think Renee tried to like catch up with him, or somebody tried to like catch up with him. And he was just like on some fuck off type shit. And whatever happened to Rocky Romero, I thought Rocky Romero was gonna interfere in this one. I thought for sure. I guess they were like, nah, enough interferences.
He came out at the end.
He did. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
he came out at the end when Renee was trying to talk to Trent.
Oh yeah. That at that part. But that's what I'm saying. Like during the match.
No, he didn't. He only came out after. Like there was no.
Yeah.
They just fought it off like men, which like fuck.
Yeah, nah, that's cool. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of the ones where I felt like it would have made sense there. You know.
Actually, a match with no fucking bullshit, mostly.
yeah. But at the same time, like I said, you know, that's one of the ones where it would have made sense. Where as where some of the other ones didn't need the extra man or the extra 2 people or the extra 3 people coming in. This one would have been fine with that. I also like how Trent kept kind of like he was really like I haven't really seen him this heel. Like he was all the way turned. He was mimicking him, making fun of everything he was doing, trying to like really shit on his name. And I feel like actually see him do some character work, as opposed to just kind of just being a best friend was kind of fun to watch. And I feel like he felt at home being a heel. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he felt like a heel. He felt like he's always been a heel. I'm gonna give this match again a high good, but only because I didn't like the outcome of this match. It doesn't make any sense to me yet. Maybe in the future, hopefully, once Tony lets it, you know, we gotta let Tony cook, and then we'll see from there. Nikki said I wasn't feeling Double or Nothing at all. Only hype was Gangrel's cameo, no cap.
That's crazy. That was fucking
good touch. Good touch.
Nah,
I did like most of the show, but yeah, like I said, to me, just like kind of middle of the road.
Like TJ could tell you, I enjoyed the fuck out of this feud. We watched the parking lot brawl. We saw when they broke up. We watched the brawl at the parking lot. We heard that this man was never gonna wrestle again, and now Orange is mad. And Trent's all by himself, and you know everybody's doing their own shit. But now Orange wants revenge because Chuck T looked like he never finna wrestle ever again, bro. So you know, with everything all built up, I'm like, I'm ready for this shit. I'm ready. First of all, entrances amazing. Trent's remix of the Best Friends to that evil shit, love it. Love the gear. Orange though. I would have liked it better if he would have truly went to his old ways. He did come back with the Pixies. I popped for that shit. But I was waiting for the all black denim. I was waiting for the all black. The black denim jacket, the black denim pants. He had the Ray-Bans, he had the black t-shirt, but he didn't have the full set. He wasn't truly in his final fucking form. So the bell rings though. Like, yo, this match is great. Good. Look at Trent being all fucking sinister and shit. Killing this man within an inch of his life. Trying to make sure that he doesn't even get back up and fucking prevail and win this match. And then the bullshit. A fucking roll-up out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. The matches I never in my life would have this come out of my mouth, but I am appalled at Orange Cassidy right now. I'm appalled at Tony Khan mostly because why are we still making this man super fucking strong when there's nothing? We're done. We shouldn't be making Orange strong anymore. Like, this is it. We got to be focusing on other people. Like, Orange has been strong since he first started. The only time he lost that momentum when he lost the fucking Moxley for the international title, when he lost to Roderick for the international title. But then after that, it's back to making this man strong, giving him wins nonstop. Like on TV, and I'm like, holy shit, bro. Like, when is it gonna end? Like, Orange cannot be the most over guy in the company to get all of these fucking wins. Either that or it's favoritism in Tony Khan's favor. Because my God, bro, you cannot be booking this man to win everything. everything. This should have went to Trent. Because look at all this shit that we've been doing. This should have went to him. I'm not even talking about like, oh, he got the new music. He got the new gear. That should have been the automatic win. No. Look at all the frustration that this man has within this angle that he's not getting all the momentum. It's all going to fucking Orange.
And
now
story-wise, he's the heel.
match,
He's the new heel.
the big match happens. And once again, Tony Khan not thinking with his brain, but with his heart, because his heart believes in Orange. He didn't think logically with his brain here and making Trent a superstar in a special singles match. Mind you, this was a clean wrestling match with no bullshit interference. Six may say this should have had the bullshit interference. I don't think so. I think we could have ended it with Trent doing the exact same thing that Orange did to him. Bad. Only because of the abrupt ending. You literally diminished Trent's momentum because TJ said it. Where does Trent go from here after this? Where does Orange go after this? Because from the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be another swerve with Don Callis signing Trent to the Don Callis family. And this is when Will Ospreay gets kicked out.
Or Don Callis could make it seem like he's setting up to get Orange. And the entire time, he was plotting with Trent.
No,
and being with the Don Callis family is what finally makes him get that dub.
But that's what we've all been thinking. We've been thinking that since last night. We've even said it. That maybe they're in cahoots the whole time. We haven't even noticed it. But still, match was great, but that ending killed it. Bad. Sorry.
You don't even know me. Yeah. You don't even know.
For the World Championship in the For the World Rules match, Hook versus Katsuyori Shibata versus the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. This match was 12 minutes and 40 seconds. Go ahead, TJ, ramble on.
This was fine. Jericho has developed a late career taste for solid plunder matches, so this fits that bill. The real problem is like his stink is all over this shit. And his matches only serve the master of furthering feuds and stories that only keep guys with promise trapped. So yeah, he can go out and have a good match, but ultimately no one benefits from it. No one benefits from it. He doesn't benefit from having a good match because Chris Jericho has been wrestling for 30 years. He has 30 years worth of good matches. Fucking Hook and Shibata do not benefit from this at all. Where do they benefit? Hook is probably the least over he's been in like the last fucking few years because he's been stuck in this shit forever. Shibata is taking pins off dumb shit like, and now Brian Keith is trapped too. Great, wonderful. Like yeah, they foreshadowed it on Collision or whatever, but again, on a show that's already full of interference, you do it again. You could have held this one. You could have held the whole match. But if you're not going to hold it, hold on. You could have held the whole match. Truth be told, but I get you're not going to do that. So like, why not just look at the board and be like, we got like 45 other run-ins tonight. We could hold the Brian Keith until like Dynamite or something. But whatever. Bad.
I had a lot of fun. I feel like all these matches have been extremely silly. Jericho's new fucking character's kind of growing on me. He's fucking goofy as fuck over here, like almost like the annoying kind of positivity, not the like you know the overly like.
He's being subtle with his character, and he's sarcastic.
It's not sarcastic
in the slightest. He's not being subtle at all. He's being super
as a brick.
Yeah, he's being super like over the top, smiley baby face, but not really because I'm technically a heel kind of shit. And you know, I don't mind it because I did want him to go away. I really did. Still do. But I guess like the character change has kind of been a little fun. I don't know how I feel about Big Bill yet. Like
He's the only part. He's the only good part of it, actually.
He almost died.
I listen. I love Big Bill on his own, but here I'm just like, I don't. I guess he's just the heavy. There's no real thing to him. I'll explain what I mean by that. All right. So I'm gonna go to the match. Hook is fantastic. Hook is fantastic. Shibata is hilarious without trying to be hilarious because he's so serious and stern and almost stoic that when he does do certain things, it comes off as funny. Like certain little, you know what I'm saying? For example, no selling the shit out of candlestick shots is hilarious to me. This motherfuckers just there like just like, are you done? Like that shit is hilarious to me. And then the shit was bending over his shoulder, which looked nasty, but at the same time, you know, he was wilding. On top of that, all the tables, all the shenanigans, trash cans, whatever you want, dice. I could have never thought of dice. I saw even some of the dice stuck to Chris, like the insoles of Chris Jericho's shoe. Like them shits was like deep in the motherfuckers.
There were like some stuck on his back as well.
Yeah, and then they was throwing them at him. They just started throwing shit at him like kids throwing popcorns at whatever.
It was
pretty crazy.
Crowd when they were throwing the dice because one of those dice could have actually hit them. I'm like,
the crowd was having a good time. You could hear them.
Luckily,
going crazy.
there was a cameraman there blocking it.
Regardless of that, the crowd was having a good time with it. They were cracking up the whole time. They were laughing. They were having a good time. This whole show, this whole match, to me, it was just a good time. I didn't see anything wrong with it. It was a good time. We got to see Cowboy, our bounty hunter, our pew pew guy, are still tipping on foes, Brian Keith, which to me was like shocking because I was like, how do you fit in this team?
He doesn't. Like,
I don't see where y'all become a thing. Like,
again, it's Jericho just basically getting more young talent on his side to give them airtime and whatever. But
you see, at this point, right? He should just be managing.
That's what everyone's been saying, but
like he should just take a break and just manage for a while, and then just have fun. And then when he gets pissed off, and there's a reason for him.
No, you guys are having fun with it. Let him stay around.
I'm having fun with the matches.
I'm having
story wise, you know, I don't get it. But the matches he's been having have been really fun, and he's usually the one who takes the fucking ass whooping the most of the match. Does he walk away with a sneaky win like most heels do? Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, Attitude Era kind of heel bullshit where they just fucking give it to the heel, even though the heel fucking got his ass whooped the whole match. We're kind of, you know, but it's still funny. It's still fun. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like some of the shit that they did I didn't enjoy. The match itself, just because of the match, I'm gonna give it low good.
I thought it was fun for the time that they gave it. I mean, it's a triple threat match. There's going to be some sort of chaos taking place here. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I too I can admit that this gimmick now grown on me. Again, Jericho has this magic touch where he reinvents himself and then all of a sudden it works. At this point, the only reason why I kind of want to see him gone, it just sells tickets.
It's the young talent getting sucked into the Jericho vortex that fucks it up.
It sells tickets to the people that just want to see Jericho get his ass kicked. Because let me tell you right now, what happens after he loses the FTW championship? He could probably actually leave. So this is the reason why I kind of want to see Jericho gone. It benefits the company when ticket sales are, being sold just to watch Jericho get his ass kicked and lose, just for the outcome to be different. Yeah, I mean, again, we're back to the serial killer pattern of constant interferences taking place in this fucking pay-per-view. But I did call it about Brian Keith joining this shit because Look at how they fucking did him in the triple threat finals of the FTW series. They made him tap out to both Shibata and Hug. And it's just like, I'm not going to say it was a burial, but it diminished him completely because it felt like, oh, a fatal four-way isn't enough since Shibata is technically in an angle with Hook and Hook is in an angle with Jericho, but Shibata still wants to fight Jericho after their match at Winnipeg with the pucks and all that shit. So now we had to do all this. And then the Saturday show came, and then we saw when they were having the little interaction, Keith and Jericho, and that's basically what plotted the seats. And I was just waiting for it. It was only a matter of time. Like the minute Big Bill almost died from that table spot, because let's face it, he almost lost an eye from the lay of that table. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I knew right then and there somebody was showing up. And the minute Brian Keith showed up and unveiled himself, and Jericho doing the smart thing, even though it is kind of stupid for Shibata to eat the pin, he didn't want to pin Hook because last time he pinned Hook, he kicked out of the Judas effect, and now he was scared shitless that he was going to have that happen again. So he had to pin Shibata, and it was probably a smarter way for him to actually walk out with the win. Do I like how the outcome came out? No, because the constant interferences and all this shit is starting to become a fucking issue within the show. I'm surprised there weren't people live in attendance catching on with what was going on. I just think they didn't care because they knew what else was coming up next, and they were just excited. I will give the match a solid good because it was fun. It is great just to see Jericho get his ass kicked because that is clearly the motive that he is doing.
Remember that one spot where they try to do something on the table and the whole table decided to tip over instead of fucking breaking? And then Jericho had to set it up in the corner for them to break it? That shit was kind
It's
of
like
funny.
it breaks, and then all of a sudden, Shibata drop kick onto Jericho's face after that. So
the funniest shit is something that they said in commentary that I remember was where they were saying like it would have benefited them if it actually decided to break. Instead, everybody just took a fucking L on that one. Like everybody just hard hit. Like
if there's only one negative that I say about this, and it's this. Jericho, you look like you are wearing an adult diaper. Please go back to the long boys. My mans. You are 50-something. You shouldn't be wearing trunks. You look like you are just ready to shit yourself. But yeah, good. Solid good. Next match, we had the IWGP Championship Eliminator as John Moxley goes one-on-one with Konosuke Takeshita. This match was 17 minutes and 20 seconds. Go ahead, TJ. Ramble on.
Takeshita being a fucking monster in this was great. I love that. Like he came in with the knowledge. He faced Mox twice before. So he's super prepared for him. He's game planned him out, especially knowing he's got an injured arm. So he spends the whole match just dominating Mox, working him over, working the arm over, taking knockout shots on him. Shit was nasty. He looked great in here, imposing as fuck. Like, it's not often you see John Moxley get fucking dominated like this. And Takeshita did it to him. But then the problem, again, comes with the finish. It's a parallel to Ospreay in that, once again, Don Callis comes in, advises this guy to do something dirty. This time it's, you must cheat. Cheat. All that matters is you win. You must cheat. So Takeshita listens, and it ends up being his one big mistake. That on its own is fine. But the issue is it comes at the cost of making Takeshita lose to essentially a one-armed guy on a pay-per-view filled with schmozzy bullshit already. It's a death by 1,000 cuts kind of thing. Like, it's something that's on its own, whatever. But when you pack it in with everything else that's going on, you're like, all right, what the fuck is going on here? And if it really was an issue of politics in that New Japan didn't want to give Takeshita an official title shot, so that's why this was an eliminator, then I feel like TK picked a counterproductive way of booking around it. And I feel like you just shouldn't have booked the match. Because like it was a good match. I'm not gonna complain about watching a good wrestling match, but in terms of the longer outlook of it, if you couldn't get in a situation where you could give Takeshita this win, or you couldn't set up an IWGP title match with him, and just try something else, I would say. I don't know what. Maybe I would need time to think about that, but I feel like they should have tried something else because this was a net neutral at best. But fucking good match. Good and a half. Very good match. So I'll say that about it.
My brain just farted.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I ended up getting stuck watching Big Bill beat the shit out of some motherfuckers. My bad.
Big Bill! That's my guy. Get him out of there.
All right. So Mox Takeshita.
Yeah.
God damn. 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 Takeshita. Where's the thing? Where's the thing? I gotta get the thing. Takeshita, man. This motherfucker did not hesitate in this motherfucking match. This motherfucker pulled up and said, where is it? Where the fuck is it?
He's just standing there.
That's not what it is.
Immediately.
We got to name those. But yeah, he immediately walked in and fucking said, you see that nice arm that you got nice and taped up? I'm going to fuck that whole shit up. And just went ape shit for the whole entire rest of the match. Takeshita, I feel like, should have won that match. I went for Mox because I knew there was no way they were going to take that belt off Mox. But watching Takeshita go absolutely insane. I mean, the only reason why I feel like Mox won is because of the fact that he had the bigger name. That's pretty much it. Because in this match, athletic-wise, fucking Takeshita was whooping his ass, bro. He beat his ass. Like, we were talking about the whole thing with Jericho, right? Where, like, he takes the bulk of the hit. In this case, I feel like Mox was the one who took the bulk of the beating. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Takeshita really went in there and showed that he can be a world champion caliber type dude. And shout out to Westside Gunn, who was in the majority of that damn match. What the fuck, bro? The majority of that match. And I would say, I feel like Takeshita, it's time. I feel like it's time to give him not just a world title shot, but a world title win somewhere. I feel like maybe they should either bring him down to ROH and try him out there with Chicken, or, you know, see if you could take him other places where he could win a world title. Maybe he could win the New Japan Strong. You never know. He's a tough kid, man. I've said it since the moment that we've been watching him, that, like, he has, before I said he had potential, now I say he has talent. And, you know, Mox, ace of the company, got nothing against him. Again, he worked his ass off and just kept fighting back. Valiant champion. You know what I'm saying? A dude who just will not give up. This match it was really good to me. I'm gonna give this a bars. Definitely a bars.
Okay.
Wild Thing lives on.
There's only one way that this match would have made the most sense that would have not made Takeshita not diminish his character, is don't do the eliminator match. If your backs were against the wall, I mean, look, we know that Moxley's next opponent is Evil at Dominion coming up.
Yeah.
But you mean to tell me that we couldn't have this ready for Forbidden Door? There's a battle royal coming up, and the winner is going to face Swerve at Forbidden Door, and they're already going to have a New Japan guy set up. Last time I checked, Konosuke has been all elite for a year. He's been signed with the company for a year now. So why didn't we pull the trigger on this? We still had plenty of time. I mean, whoever was going to walk away with that title at Osaka Joe Hall would still have to face Takeshita at Long Island. And I don't think it would have hurt anybody. You would have just gave the man the match and he would have lost right then and there. It would have been perfect.
They weren't putting the IWGP title on Takeshita.
No, I'm not saying
that's
put
what I
the
was
title
saying.
on him. No, I'm not saying put the title on him. I'm saying give him the match at Forbidden Door.
They
Like
wouldn't
an
do that
actual,
either.
like the actual world title.
Give
You
him-
don't think? I think it's
So no,
time, bro.
No.
I
I'm
would
saying-
love it. I'm just saying,
No,
clearly,
hear
they're
me
not going to do
out.
that.
But hear me out. I'm just saying, if he would have won here, he would have faced either Moxley or Evil at Forbidden Door, and he would have lost the championship match. That's what I was saying. But
No, yeah, I get that, but the point is, it was never. He wasn't going to get an IWGP World Title match. That's my point. Like, he
I
was
know.
never going to win this match. He was never going to go to Osaka Joe Hall. That's the point.
So so then why make this an eliminator then? When and
saying.
another thing that was out of like it's got me off was the whole entire match was just working this man's arm.
It was more than that because fucking Takeshita was in there
but
fucking fighting, bro. They set him up in the corner, knocked his fucking teeth in. Like, I feel like he was. My bad. Go ahead. It's your time. My bad.
They were brawling. They were striking. They were doing everything that they needed to do in the center of the ring. But that was when we were bringing it home. Everything else was working Moxley's arm throughout the entire match. Now, I'm not hating on the fact that, like, okay, we have to work on the weak spot. But did it have to be throughout the entire fucking match? And then, with the minor interference with Don Callis showing up, like, we have to kill him. It's time to kill. Like, Don, at this point, like, your theories on wanting your wrestlers to kill these wrestlers isn't going to work. Okay? I think it's time for you to come up with some better sayings for these guys because your motivation of murder is not up to every wrestler's forte. It's not in Kenosuke's back pocket. He just wants to win, all right? Like, and the fact that he had to be the one to cause the loss here for your protege, big step on your part that you need to take full responsibility for. But I didn't hate the match. It was still fun. There was still a lot of strikes. They were really stiffing each other. That I will admit. You cannot doubt Kenosuke Takeshita's fucking elbows. Motherfucker said, here's the windup and the pitch. That nigga Moxley went down in one swing. So yeah, Moxley made him look like $1 million. I just don't like the end. Because it took all that punishment for him to take and then one Death Rider and then it's over. So I don't know, man. Like
I said, I'm gonna just have a quick little retort to some of the things you said. When it comes to working the arm, I've always loved the heel who picks a body part and picks the man apart. I've always thought that's the smartest thing to do. I think as a heel, that's exactly what you do. You continue to keep going after the weakness, continue to take after the weakness. Here and there, you'll touch up some other spots. So that way, he's weak all around. But I feel like the smartest thing, especially when you got an injury that's wrapped up from pillar to post, the smart idea is to continue to attack that and be able to weaken that as much as possible to the point where it becomes the hindrance of that man's entire existence. That's one thing.
That match, Moxley barely got any offense.
Yeah, I said that. I said that it reminds me of Jericho, except that he's a babyface, which is kind of. But at the same time, I understand why. In name, Jon Moxley, there was no way they were gonna make him lose, bro. There's no way.
And
but again, not just that. Being that he is one of the guys who's always been very resilient and always finds a way out, it's not out of character for them to do this with him because this is the kind of things that he's used to. The more you hurt Jon Moxley at certain points, it seems like the stronger he becomes. He's one of those guys who gets more and more like a Goku type character. The more you beat Goku's ass, the more insane he starts looking for ways to get out of it. And I feel like that's what happened in this match. Again, unfortunately, I feel like this is not a match we should have had on this card, period.
No, it's not.
That's my beef with it because I feel like we got so many matches. What was the point of having an eliminator?
again,
at a pay-per-view.
the thing that should have made the most sense was not making this match an eliminator and just make it a one-on-one. You could have given Takeshita the win. It would have never hurt Moxley in the Raw, knowing that he has a world title defense coming up in about 3 weeks.
Yep.
Well, no, I think that's
ass backwards.
I think that's worse, actually. Like,
You think that's worse if they just had a one-on-one, like a regular, like,
and the
like
nigga beats the IWGP champion and then just doesn't get anything out of it? Yeah, I think that's worse.
No, I didn't say it gets anything out of it. I feel like he should get a future title win.
But that's my point. He wouldn't. That's the point here. He wouldn't.
But regardless, he wouldn't. So not having the match
to me
would have been the smarter thing.
That's why I said don't book it. That's why.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I said from jump. Don't book it.
Yeah, we have enough matches as it is.
I'm gonna give the match solid good though. It was still fun.
Yeah.
Still fun for what it was. The ending was just a little.
Did I give it a rating, bro?
What was it that you rated? I think you gave
I
it
don't
a
know.
good as well.
I have a fucking my memory's ass, bro. That's why I stopped smoking. Well, that's one of the reasons, but you know,
I do believe you gave it a good.
Good, yeah.
All right, well, it's for some violence. Barbed wire steel cage match.
Don't die. Please don't die.
For the TNT Championship. This was in the year 2020. Go ahead, TJ, ramble on.
So, like I said last night, this was 100%. And maybe we'll hear the real story behind it one day. But until then, I am convinced that this is 100% Cope going up to Tony Khan and requesting a do-over of the Finn Balor Hell in a Cell match.
No, you have to watch the Chris Van Vliet episode. You have to watch it. He talks about it. He actually does talk about it. That Vince kiboshed everything that he wanted. We
know here that I don't usually compare WWE and AEW, for one, because I don't watch WWE, and two, there's usually never a reason to.
Yeah.
But in this case, like I said, he wanted a do-over of that specific match, and he got it, and he smoked that match in every conceivable fucking sense. Like, everything that match was probably supposed to be is what this match ended up being. The weapons felt like weapons and things of consequence and not color-coded bullshit. We had real violence and like shit. We weren't stopping for blood or nothing like that. We had real heat. And perhaps best of all, because this was a lore and a story match and all that type of shit, they put actual effort into the Brood Edge thing. Like in fucking the WrestleMania match, they just called the nigga Brood Edge and had him come out the Slayer. But there was nothing different.
He came out to the Slayer. He came out to that, but mixed with the Ultra Bridge Metalingus.
Yeah. But like whatever. It was just bullshit. Like, that's my point. That shit was bullshit. If you're gonna do the Brood, if you're gonna evoke the Brood, then do it. Like, if Tony could have used the song, I bet he would have. Because he had Edge come up in the fire. He probably couldn't use the song. Like, but he had Edge come up in the fire. They had the red lighting, the blood, and then fucking Gangrel pulled up. Like, if you go do this shit, then do this shit. I want Brood Edge. I want Gangrel. I want vampire shit.
Yeah.
Interference in a cage match. Never a fan of it. But I'll accept this because of the circumstances. Because again, they had to set up Gangrel somehow. So that's how they did it, and it worked. I'll just say again, the point I'm reiterating throughout this whole show is that you got to look at the board, TK. If you see I got interferences in these other fucking in 5 out of 7 matches, then maybe for the last 2, let me perhaps fall back a little bit. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, all in all, Cope taking Sting's spot as old guy who does crazy shit is very cool. And I'm happy he got to have the spooky cage match that he actually wanted to have and didn't get fucked over out of it. Highest of goods. 3 3/4. She was very good. I enjoyed this a lot.
Hey, you think Christian threw a tantrum when he saw Gangrel?
They had some good brother moments. I miss their podcast.
I'm pretty sure that backstage they was probably having a good time.
Yeah,
The three of them just like, remember? And if I don't know if Jeff is Jeff still signed? Is Jeff still signed to this company?
Jeff Hardy.
I don't know anymore. I think so.
Do you think he would have been in the back just hanging out? Because that would have been fucking. I wish. Now that I think about it, I kind of wish they would have brought in Brood Jeff. That would have been fun.
For that you had to get Matt, but he's in TNA.
Nah, leave him alone. Leave him alone. You leave Matt where he's at. Same way we didn't have Christian. We didn't have Christian, right? So it would have just been cool to have the. To me, it would have been cool to have the two cool guys from the Brood, because those to me those are the cool guys. Was Jeff and Edge. I feel like I don't want to do too much of what TJ did, but I feel like the WWE version was like a Brood coat of painting on it, whilst this felt broody. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And this felt not just like Brood, but Brood evolved, like what the Brood could have been in nowadays, which is why I enjoyed it so much. Aleister Black came out with the big giant House of Black flag, real dope. Still not a black dude in their team. Edge came out to all the cool music and the pyro and the fire and the flames and the side view of the flames going up. I wish they got a little closer. Like, I feel like with WWE, the way they do their stuff, you could kind of almost see like the billowing smoke and steam going off right by their face, versus in this version, it was kind of like behind them and to the sides. And I understand why they did that, because apparently Edge said that there was a few times where he'd have a coat that'd be like yay long and it'd end up like up by his hips by the time he got out of that fire. So I understand that, but still, it's just like I wish they did the real Ring of Fire. I also don't like that it was on the right. I'm used to it being on the left. That kind of fucked me up a little bit. Other than that, that's just nitpicking on the entrance. But the entrances to me were really, really cool. I really enjoyed the entrances. This match was extremely violent and very fun. The House of Black, when they showed up and they did the turn, I was like, I fucking knew it. But then it wasn't a turn. And I felt kind of dumb. I was like, all right, I'm stupid. But I really bit that they were gonna join Edge. And just seeing him with two younger dudes next to him as like, this could happen.
Kind of like how he was in WWE with Rhea and Priest before they turned on him.
Sort of, but even better, because I feel like in this company, they'd actually make him feel like, nah, it's like Gangrel passed the torch down to him.
No, but I'm saying with that angle, with that twist that they did, that was the tidbit. That was the little Easter egg that they did there.
Yeah,
so like,
that okay, I get what you were saying. Okay, my bad. But what I meant by it was, kind of seeing him in this company with two young dudes who are starting up, and he creates his own little, Brood, would be a fucking awesome idea. Like, seeing those two guys next to him like that, and him being like the leader, the master, that looked like a cool idea to me.
Mm-hmm.
Again, back to how violent this match was. I don't know how Hazel ain't lose his mind, because there was blood everywhere, and this is his favorite guy. I don't know how you didn't just fucking cream your pants immediately.
Oh, I was just in absolute silence.
I mean, for God's sake, I came.
Yeah, I'll explain later.
When he slammed Malachi.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck Aleister is. Who that?
Yeah,
shut up, B. Shut up. Listen, my memory. When he slammed him through the damn cage, and I thought the cage went like this and lifted up, I got scared. But that's another thing that I want to talk about. I really like the design of this cage. It was less like their older cages, where it was kind of like too big and around the shit and kind of like a weird Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, because they
more like a more modern
in the cage and on the outside around the ring.
Yeah,
so I get what they were doing.
Yeah, it's a nicer size cage, and it's easier for the people who are watching. To me, well, at least to me it was. Because I feel like that other cage like kind of gets in the way when you're trying to like doesn't even feel right. It's you're trying to figure out where the wrestler went, and that motherfucker went to the floor, shit like that. Again, the piece of de la resistance that I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting. We're seeing Heath up in that bitch. Gangrel, man. I wonder if they had to license the name. Do you think they still have to license it?
No, because he still uses it in the indies.
No, of course he does.
Yeah, they might have. But the
Because
fee
remember,
probably
that's
not
from a
crazy.
game.
Yeah, the fee probably not too crazy. So
yeah, that's probably what it was. I mean, after the money that they spent tonight, later on, we're gonna talk about that.
yeah. So it's probably like, oh,
that's why I was like, I hope that wasn't too expensive. Nah. But yeah, when he came out from under the ground and just shower of blood everywhere, just that nostalgia hit, man. Every time it just clicked, and I'm just watching, and I'm just like, wow, okay, that's pretty awesome. That's a pretty dope situation. And even though it happened now and not back in the day when I feel like it would have had a bit more sting to it, I was still very happy. I was still very excited. I was still very hyped just to finally see him, because we've been kind of teasing. WWE teased this shit forever and never really did it. And then we get to AEW and they don't just tease it, they just fucking do it.
They fucking
they did the work. And that's why I respected it, man. It was like, I hope they do more things like this. I hope they bring him back in a few more times. Shit, I hope somebody hits up Glacier and finds out what he's doing. So we can have some fire versus ice. But again, this match was, I mean, I'm gonna give this a bars, absolute bars, top bars. So like, this ain't like it's like a 4.9, like damn near. It was up there. It was a pretty high bars, man. I respect the shit out of Edge. The fact that he can perform at the caliber that he's still going at, like, is insane to me, especially after having all the injuries and being plagued with all of that his whole life. Kudos to him. And kudos to Malachi, man, who, I mean, they made each other look like stars.
Yeah. So you said bars and bars
high
and
bars.
3/4.
Mm-hmm.
Bars and 3/4. Okay. Oh God, yeah. Ooh. Yeah. This shit was, whoa, my goodness. I'm starting with the entrances. Them shits was amazing. Finally, they did it right by just giving him Slayer, giving him the entrance. No mix match with fucking Metalingus. We just kisses the bell. He closes the cage. We fucking get started. The blood commences, and we just start losing our fucking minds. Yeah, this man is now the Sting. He's doing all the crazy shit because he too doesn't have a lot of time left in his wrestling career, so he might as well just go out with a bang while he can. And this was one of those prime examples. You got to mark this off his bucket list, not just having a barbed wire steel cage match, but just wrestling Malachi Black. So kudos to you, Cope. You finally did it. You got.
I feel like they match. They match.
They definitely match. They matched indeed here. Their chemistry match, their dark sides match.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like, it was the dark versus the red. It was the black and the red, just without the blue, which was perfect. So I look at it like that because there was the stipulation that took place that if Cope lost, he'd have to bend the knee and join the House of Black. But now I heard earlier during buy-in that, if Cope is in the House of Black, has to join him. And I'm like, what are we doing here? If this is the House of Black trying to develop new powers within their darkness and they want to step into the Brood realm, then by all means, Copeland doesn't mind leading a couple of guys into the Brood realm and giving them all the red that they need to fulfill their dark needs. I think it could work, but I have to wait till Wednesday to see what happens with that. Cope, I know you be doing your Sting stuff and it's fun and whatnot, but when you was on the top of that cage, what was you thinking when you landed on your feet on the mat doing that elbow drop 15 feet? How were your ankles not broken after jumping off the top of the cage like that?
I forgot about that, but we was talking about that too.
My nigga, yo, I mean, at first I thought it was a splash, but then at that time it's like you're at that age where you're like you can still go, but then you pull shit like this, you're very hesitant on what you could do. I thought it was gonna be a splash at first, but then when I saw the way he dropped, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then for some miraculous reason, he landed, still hit the elbow. Y'all remember Macho Man jumping off the top of the cage in WCW? And the only thing that he got out of that fucking spot was a broken arm. And he landed on his feet. That shit, yo, miraculous that he could still be walking after that shit. But yo, it got bloody, it got gory, it got intense. And again, the interference was absolutely necessary here because of the story that was being told. I was awake. I literally had my eyes glued to the television for this match because I wanted to see some shit. And I got to see the shit. When this nigga Malachi Black did a sunset flip powerbomb off the cage to Copeland onto the table, that was cool. When wrapped them in barbed wire, that was cool. I mean, Malachi Black with the gusher, though, that was cool. I don't think I really get to see Malachi Black gush that much blood in a match like this. It's crazy. Again, Copeland went to Tony Khan and he said, Tony, I got this barbed wire steel cage match, right? And Tony was like, I'm going to give you what you want. What do you want? I want what I was supposed to have at Mania 39. Oh, so you want Slayer? You want Gangrel? You want all the chaos? You don't want no one stopping the match, any of that shit? Yeah, I want all that. Have no fear. Tony Khan is here. He saved the day with this one. I'll spare you this one, Tony. You're still gonna pay for your crimes for this 10-match card that you fucking did. Fuck you. I'm gonna give this match 6 barbed wires because this shit was bloody.
6 barbed wires, he said.
This shit was violent. This shit made me horny, and I almost came, and I really loved it, and I wish it didn't stop. I literally said I'd leave right now. Fuck the triple main event. I'd leave right now and go to bed happy knowing
he did say that. You did say that. You did say that. You did say that.
So yeah.
You were like, you something like to TJ, you were like, oh, y'all could take it from here, something like that.
Yeah, y'all niggas could take over. I'm out.
I forgot about that.
Because like literally it gave me what I wanted because I really wanted this at Mania. And basically Finn Balor is like, you fucking bastard. How dare you? I'm the prince, but you suck. And yeah, no.
I think it could have been good. I feel like it was just the way that they booked it.
No, it's just Vince didn't want to give Edge all the stuff that he needs.
WWE is not that promotion.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's really
it's
not.
Fine. I'm not even saying that to like hate on them or whatever. It's just they're not. They're Disney wrestling, so it's fine. Let them do.
Yo,
Disney
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah,
or bullshit. Yeah.
I like that analogy, TJ. Disney wrestlers. That's a good one.
They Walt Disney wrestlers. Apparently, they're all Vince McMahon's victims. Apparently, he's the Harvey Weinstein.
Well, the whole company is Harvey Weinstein, but you know that's different.
Again, 6 bloody barbed wires. My God, what a beautiful massacre I got to witness. And now it's time for the main event. Number 1. Mercedes Moné challenges Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship. TJ, they fixed the time here. It was not 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Do you want to know what time it was?
I know. Other people, yes.
Good shit. So it actually was that long. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Did they lie to us? But yeah, go ahead, man. It's time to ramble.
Yeah, because I was like 8 minutes. If they'd had that match in 8 minutes, then yeah, I would have had no choice but to declare Mercedes the GOAT because that's crazy. But yeah, 18 minutes makes more sense. Shout out Chris DeClaire, the fact man in the building. The Boston Celtics have swept the Indiana Pacers. They will be moving on to the NBA Finals. Dallas has the opportunity to punch their ticket tomorrow, so we will see.
Now go home and smoke some more crack.
What?
I'm saying if the Celtics lose to Kyrie and they got to blow it up because of him, that'd be fucking hilarious. But we'll see. This match, buddy, this match. This might have had the most heat on the show. And I can confidently say now, having seen the show, that if this would have gone last, it would have been the right choice. But it didn't go last, and that's also fine. Unlike Serena Deeb and Toni Storm, they knew going in, Mercedes is the heel. And they went with that, and it made it perfect because it made Willow throwing her the fuck around, just like in the first match, cathartic in contrast to it. Like in the first match, it almost felt like Willow was kind of slipping heel with the way she was beating up Mercedes. But in this match, it felt like her defending her turf against, this Mercedes Moné trying to come in and take everything from her. Mercedes is a bump machine, in case anybody forgot. That girl bumps her ass off, and that meshes so fucking perfectly with Willow Nightingale, who is a beast. Like their chemistry together. Like I was in awe of it the first time, and watching them run it back, I'm like, God damn, these two, they click. They're perfect. Willow got a visual victory as likely a down the line setup. Stoke and Chris got involved, which again, I'll say excessive. And this is probably one of the matches that actually didn't need that, but I get it, so I'm not gonna harp on it too much. Mercedes proves her worth, like I always knew she would. Had a great fucking match. Came out on top as the champion, which I expected. You can quibble with the decision if you want, but ultimately I do think this works, and I think they set up Willow to go in a good place after losing the championship. Like obviously she's gonna feud with Chris Statlander now. But yeah, up there. And if not for what went last, probably the best match on the show. And I'll say it should, as far as a straight up one-on-one match that didn't have all the craziness of an Anarchy in the Arena, it was the best match on the show. This was fucking fantastic. So bars and a half, straight up.
Agreed. I'm the aesthetics guy. Hi. I was enjoying the way that they set up the match before the match. The way they showed, a few shots of Mercedes in Stardom and in New Japan and stuff. New Japan, right? I'm bugging? Or am I not bugging?
What?
New Japan Strong? Mercedes. What? The clips, the footages that they use.
Oh, yeah, New Japan Strong. I mean, she was in
technically New Japan, but also New Japan Strong due to the tournament they had.
Yeah, I said New Japan Strong. Was she in Stardom, I think, too, when she was in the Indies?
Stardom, Tokyo Joshi Bro.
Yeah. So they used some of those.
Bro, but she was in Stardom.
Yeah, she was in Stardom. So she used some of those. They used some of those clips, which was kind of cool. Then you see all the indie stuff with Willow, and they show like baby pictures and Willow growing up and becoming this awesome person and just being dope as shit. Then they did the whole thing with all like the strong, empowering women for Mercedes before her entrance, which, always builds her up. And on top of that, they had, like TJ said, the Daft Punk drummers, which was fucking cool. Trying to remember. They had the Vegas girls come out and all that stuff. Like, it was a really, really dope entrance. And a lot of people I seen on the interweb saying, they didn't give Willow enough. I feel like she didn't need all that shit. And she looked really fucking cool coming out in her long curly hair and the makeup and the cool like add-ons, like the little diamonds on her face, and the gear was incredible. I feel like she looked like a fucking champion. She looked like a star. They both look like stars. Both these women came out here looking like stars.
And her gear was more than enough for Willow. She didn't need new music or anything.
Yeah, and on top of that, she had Stoke and she had, of course, Chris, who ended up turning on her at the end. But, you know, she came out looking like a champion. And again, these two women, they know how to fucking work, man. Mercedes knows how to bump.
All right, man. It's all right.
It's gonna take a while. This is our first match.
We have those moments.
Yeah. Mercedes knows how to bump. And then, of course, Willow is a fucking beast. She can do fucking she'll take you down. She got touches of like Kurt Angle. What's this guy's name? The alpha male Monty Brown.
Yeah, Monty Brown.
She got touches of a whole bunch of different powerhouses all mixed up. And she's hardcore, and she can take, so like both of them can take like real nasty bumps. So they came out here, and then on top of that, the crowd was so into this. They were so into this. And that's something that I noticed with both women's matches this pay-per-view. Like they were really over the women. And a lot of people are always talking about how weak the division is and yada yada yada. Bro, I put those two matches up against a lot of WWE women's matches. Like, I feel like both women's matches fucking cooked. And especially this one, because this one had the hype and all that stuff that you would get from like a Charlotte or whatever, you know? So this match was great. The after stuff, but I understand progressing story. I'll leave it alone. I'm going to give this, again, a very high bars, but instead of 3/4, I'm going to say 7/8. So just closer to the GOAT tier. Yeah. And it's hard for me to give GOATs now after fucking Ospreay Danielson. Like that shit was it's like at that point, like how do you
I mean, these women were bumping, and this is what I was waiting for in Mercedes. I just wanted to see her wrestle because that's what I'm here for. I'm not here for anything else. She needs a manager to talk for her. The gimmick is cool, but then after a while, it gets a little cringy, but I'm going to ignore it because now that she's in the ring, I can now focus on that. And this match showed that after a year of injury, after this woman, well, I wouldn't even say Willow got you injured. The injury was by accident because you slipped off the top rope. I remember that.
Yes.
We run this back one more time, and injury or no injury, she finished that match even though they called an audible a bit. This one, she finished it, and she finished it through without having any hesitation. She hadn't lost a step. She was bumping like crazy. She was literally going after neck bumps insanely. Those fucking, that pounce immediately just almost broke. Immediately. To them fighting on the outside, powerbomb right to the apron. Like literally, like for a skinny girl like Mercedes, she could bump like crazy. That's why she's good for. That's why she has a good figure for her to bump. She could twist her body in so many ways that when she bumps, it's like you're trying to keep the folding chair folded, but then it comes right back up. You know,
she's beautiful, man. She's fucking beautiful. I'm sorry.
No, she's beautiful, but
no, I'm talking about Willow. I was just like,
yeah,
I'm watching.
Willow
I'm watching it now, and Willow's like, I'm telling you, bro. Like, what I'm looking for in life, TJ. My bad, Hazel.
It's always nice to see a perfect plex.
Oh yeah.
Now and then,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The perfect place with the hook, with the leg hook and the bridge.
Yeah,
My God,
Northern Light style.
you meant not even Northern Lights. You just regular fisherman suplexes.
Nah, yeah, of course, but
Not to sit in. It's
when
so
you add that
amazing.
bridge, I always think Northern Lights.
It's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that being pulled off. Yes, once again, back to the serial killer pattern of the interference. It's become a victim at this point. Every match is a victim to the crime of interference, and they're never leaving any clues behind. For some fucking weird reason, Willow had the one chance to walk away here with the victory, but no, they had the hot alien that y'all don't say she's an alien. I still think she's an alien.
She ain't been
And
an alien for like 2 years.
I don't care. She's still an alien in my heart. And that fucking guy that looked like he go to Diddy parties way too much. Go do fucking interference and cost Willow the match. Oh, as Mercedes finally did the move fucking correctly, and Willow sold it like $1 million. I did forget the name though. What is it again? Is it called?
Wait, did you say Stokely looked like he go to Diddy? No, he don't go. Damn, Hazel, come on, man.
Leave me alone. All right.
Don't say that about Stoke, man.
I
Shit.
say what I want. At least
Leave
I'm not
Stoke alone,
roasting
man.
him.
He don't fuck with those. He don't be there.
Yeah, don't do that.
Man, I say what I want. Look, I could honestly look back at this match over and over. And Six, you're right. The women here were probably the better show than some of the other matches that had interference. My nigga, even the buy-in with Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo was amazing. And it was on the buy-in. You don't get matches like that on the buy-in to be like 4.5 caliber matches. And this one gets another go. This match, I may have shit on the story a little bit, but I look back on it now. I'm like, you know what? I only did it because of Mercedes, but Willow was really carrying this story because she was the fighting champion. The woman went to Tokyo Joshi Pro to defend against Tam Nakano and then come back to defend it at a pay-per-view. I wouldn't say Willow wasn't at 100%, but she was probably going through a red eye. But she went in there, gave it her all, fought with her heart's content, tried to retain, but couldn't. But she still gave it her all at the end, and I'm happy of her TBS title run. I hope she gets the belt back again. But now we have a roadblock with Stokely and Chris since the turn happened, which we all knew was happening. And now we're going to see their rivalry commence, which will probably... I don't want that to be the buy-in at Forbidden Door.
I'm looking at one of them crazy bumps we was talking about where she took a power bomb to the apron. That shit look fucking nasty.
But yeah, I'm giving this match a go. I really enjoyed it. It was amazing. It was fun. For the 18 minutes that these women got, they rightfully deserved it. I'm 2-2 in women's matches on GOATs. Holy shit.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm actually, how long you said it was?
It was 18 minutes.
18 minutes.
I'm looking at the match right now, right? Let me see when it started. It started before this, right? We are now at 21. Hold on, 20. I'm looking at the match, right? It started before I even did this, because look, right here, this is when, all right, so it started at about a minute in, right? And then this part of the match right here is at about 20 minutes. So it looked like more. It might have been more, but fuck it. If that's what they said, that's what they said. Because I'm right here. I'm at 1943, and the match started at 1.
Oh man, I mean, like I said, there was an issue yesterday when I looked at the times overall in Wikipedia, and
well, I'm not.
So
yeah, they said 18. So
yeah,
I'm not a timekeeper. So
all right, well, it's time for the main event, number 2 for the AEW World Championship. Swerve defends his title against Christian with the patriarchy in his corner. That is the kill switch that prick Nick Wayne and hi Shayna. This match was 24-50. Go ahead, TJ, ramble on.
There is maybe no one better at keeping a match simple, yet heated and action-packed than Christian Cage. He makes everything count, tells the story as simply as possible, so that when the big beats hit, you get it. You fucking get it. The story behind most of this has been Swerve pretty much atoning for his sins on his way up to the world title. He got betrayed by a squad. The people he fucked over are now all coming back at him in some way, shape, or form. So he's got to deal with that. And I like that this match was essentially serving that purpose of, yes, he is going to deal with that. He understands that, but he's here to do it. He hit maybe the sickest house call ever in this match, just because of the way that it was set up throughout the match with Christian dodging and getting around it. And then when he goes off the ropes for the spear, Swerve catches him mid-air. Like, I saw a picture of it on Twitter that looked fucking, it was great. Sickest house call. And then, of course, this had tons of interference as well. But this was actually the match that I had virtually no problem with the interference. Especially when I looked at it again in a vacuum, because it all worked. Like, it's a Christian Cage match, so you know the patriarchy is going to interfere. You know fucking Killswitch and Shayna and Nick are going to get involved. And you also knew that just because of the fact of how they set the feud up. So that was all expected, and I think it all worked in that they all got kicked out. Nana got kicked out. I mean, them coming back is, you know, you got to sort of deal with that and address that. But it was fine outside of that. With Swerve conquering him, conquering all of them, and Nana coming back to the fold and looking great. So again, the purpose of this match was set Swerve up as a world beater, and even though he has demons to overcome and sins to atone for as world champion, he is up for the task. And I thought they did great at that. Bars. And yes, rest in peace to the legendary Bill Walton. Big Red, as they call it.
Yeah, I wish I knew, man. I have to listen to the fucking. I'll look him up later. Or if not, you can send me
YouTube. Yeah, just look him up. Put his name in on YouTube search engine.
Gotcha.
You'll have heard his voice for sure.
Gotcha. Because now my brain is like, wham, who the fuck was he? Because I feel like I know.
Legendary player for the Trailblazers back in the 70s.
Yes.
Again, went on to be a commentator.
Gotcha.
I think he won a championship.
He did.
All right.
What team was it with the Lakers?
The Blazers, I think.
The Blazers.
Oh, okay.
DJ said he played for the Blazers. All right. So, man, Swerve is so good, man. Swerve is such a fucking good wrestler, man. Like, he has, you know what it is with him? He has great timing and ring awareness. And I really appreciate that. Because it's almost like he always knows exactly what to do next. And regardless of what happens, he knows how to switch it up to, how do you say this? Not just to acclimate to his opponent's offense, but to also but to also kind of like flow into his opponent's defense. And I really appreciate that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the entrances real quick. Warriors. Great movie. Everybody knows it. Fucking hood classic. To be honest, an American classic, because everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
I love Nana doing the clink, 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 clink.
All the way back to Coney.
But one thing that I noticed, he almost said his line too early. Because you hear, and then you hear, swerve. Like he's like, he almost said it too early. He was like, oh shit, not yet. Okay, now. Swerve. Come on. That was awesome to me. Christian had his typical entrance. Funny things that I found in this match was when fucking they got the turtleneck over his head, and I'm trying not to be vulgar anymore and shit, but bro, he looked like TJ, you know what I'm saying? An unclipped joint, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, yeah.
And then I think Tony
an uncircumcised penis.
I'm trying not to be that person no more.
Oh, I'm being that person. So
okay,
let me do my job.
You do that.
Uncircumcised penis.
We're immature. But yeah, and then I remember that Tony on commentary was talking shit, talking about he looked like Cornholio or some shit.
Yeah,
And that shit also made me pop, which is really funny. I didn't like the stupid shit with the Shayna and the Nick and the they caught Nana with the belt but kudos to the ref for kicking everybody the fuck out after a while. Because he was like, all right, it's not just him now. It's all you motherfuckers. All you motherfuckers is wilding. Get out. Get out.
Get your foot.
Get the fuck out. But then come back 5 minutes later.
Yeah, but then come back 5 minutes later, Nana with the goddamn steel pipe. Mad funny, looking like somebody steal, like, back up, coño, back up, back up. Looking like a homie from 2/5, bro.
Oh
like somebody
God.
just stole one of his incense, tight as hell.
Jesus.
Yeah. Another thing that was amazing, the table didn't completely collapse after all the shit that they did on that little table. It was a Spanish announce table. They beat the shit out of it, did not collapse. Meanwhile, Sanjay Dutt breathed on the one in Collision, I think it was, and that shit fell apart. That shit like caved in on itself. I don't know how you have a table that's sturdy and then a table that's that floppy.
That was.
You remember that shit? That shit was weird, bro.
Weird as fuck.
Tables were
was
not
like,
cooperating with these niggas. They were not.
I guess some shit was
Yeah.
flimsy as hell that day, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna just
fuck it, just let it go." But man, these two went at it. These two had a great match. Again, can't praise Swerve enough. Can't praise Christian enough. Christian has come a long way, man. Like you go back to seeing like WWE Christian, WWF Christian.
He was always
Christian.
this good. What do you mean?
Nah, look at WWF Christian.
No, he was always this good.
And then look at him now.
Like I said, he's the better of them.
I thought he was kind of boring. I thought he was boring before. When I was a kid, I found him hella boring.
Yeah, again, go rewatch Christian as an adult.
You're right. I'm an adult now. So I should rewatch and see how I feel. But as a kid, I found him. Huh?
Why the fuck did I just see Liv Morgan make out with Dominic Mysterio?
Ooh.
What the fuck is
Mommy's not going to be happy with that.
Look for Dom.
Even though Mommy was on the beach with our boy Buddy, who was just here.
Let's not. Good for Dom. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I just wanted to find something funny, and then this
right, let's
all
leave it. We're gonna leave it. So yeah, nah. Christian now to me is a whole different dude, man. Like I feel like he's an absolute beast. I feel like as a character, he's bar none one of the fucking stiffest dudes in the whole fucking company. It's hard to break him. It's hard to make him break character. He's great. I think Swerve is proving himself here, you know. I feel like this is Swerve. Not he proved himself to become champion, of course. But I feel like this is him really proving like, nah, I'm here. Like this is where I belong. This is where I'm gonna stay. And I enjoy pretty much everything that he's been doing. I've been enjoying his run. I enjoyed Garments in the crowd with Mayweather and Brian Q from what do you call it? Impractical Jokers. I think there was a guy named Little something. What was his name? I'm trying to see if I can find it. I'm not gonna look for it. Anyways, few more or less celebrities and stuff around him. I also love how he gave a pound of West Side Gun. That was dope. I like that he's not just like a champion for the people. He's a champion for everybody. He's a champion for the celebrities. He's a champion for anybody who ever grew up being different. You know what I'm saying? I respect the shit out of Swerve. He's my champion. I'm going to say that he's my champion. And I love pretty much everything he's doing in life right now. I'm going to give this match high bars. High bars.
I've really been digging this man's title reign.
Mm-hmm.
And now that he got to defend the belt for the first time on pay-per-view, this was the real test. And Christian was about to test this man to see if he was ready to continue to pursue the championship going forward. And I think we all knew for a fact that this man was ready to bring this title to the next wave of AEW, to the future. As now we progress into 6 years of All Elite Wrestling after this whole event took place. It is Swerve's time to shine, and we got it here in this match. The Warriors gear looks fucking great. I loved it. I marked out. Probably shed a tear a bit because it's a New York thing. I watched this movie growing up, and I still love it to this day. An instant classic that you guys should all check out if you haven't seen it yet. And, once the bell rang, this was a world title match. Christian has a very, very high criteria when it comes to these world title matches. He knows how to make his opponent look good. He knows how to make himself look good, depending on what title is on the line. Doesn't matter which. He brings 110% babyface or heel here. And here, it's like he never lost a step. This was the second time in like 3.5 years since All Out 2021 against Kenny that he's gotten another world title shot. So props to Christian for working hard to finally reach up to this mantle after carrying the TNT title for what could have been almost a goddamn year. Your gimmick is probably the best heel gimmick we got next to Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Christian has a very high work ethic, and he belonged in this position with Swerve. A lot of people could say otherwise, like, oh, it could have been this guy, it could have been that guy, it could have been, it could have been my dad that never came home. But guess what? It was Christian, and they did it, and it was a story because not be personal with Swerve stuff. I mean, they yanked the dread off of this man's hair. Like,
yeah, that shit was crazy.
Come on, I think they brought a picture of him, his wife, I think his ex and his daughter, and blood is like spewing out of his head onto the.
You said that shit mad New York, by the way.
I'm sorry, man.
His daughter.
My nigga, I miss home.
I know. We miss you too, bro.
That ass suck my dick. Look, I can.
Hey, why all that?
Look, I'm
why all that? I'm your homie. You ain't. Why all that?
So I can look this match again. The interference. I'm just gonna let it slide here because that was just it. I was getting annoyed when they ejected. Then I'm like, finally, some authority taking place here. Cause shit. But then they come back 5 minutes later, and I'm like, oh no! Like this is the problem. Tony Khan has literally overbooked his entire show, with nothing but interferences. Yes, some of them were good. Some of them were returns. Some of them kind of made sense, but not everything had to be a fucking interference. Ending though was so great. I mean, Christian was getting stiffed, kid, for real by this man. Could have sworn he broke his jaw for a minute. I will be giving this match a 4.5. This was fun. And this was good babyface heel wrestling. We need that. Miscommunication with your cronies. For instance, your dinosaur. It's only a matter of time before that man just turns on you. And I think it's going to be Wednesday, right? Is that going to happen? Is it going to happen? We'll see.
Not sure, man.
Not sure indeed, but we will find out. And now it is time for the main event. Number 3. This is the shit show. The anarchy in the arena match.
What is it that this guy Jim Cornette used to call it?
The outlaw
mud show wrestling bullshit.
Why are we talking about a racist? What are we doing?
No, because this is exactly what a lot of people feel about this type of wrestling.
Who gives a fuck?
You're right.
Who gives a
right?
fuck?
You're right.
Right. Somewhere else. Who cares?
Right. You're right. That's the attitude I should have, and I'm sorry. You're right.
of
You're right.
Matthew and Nicholas Jackson with Kazuchika Okada and Jack Perry defeating Team AEW being Bryan Danielson, a broken, not 100%, almost got killed by Buzz Darby Allin,
Yo,
and Fatur. This was the longest match of the night. 29:55. They were 5 minutes away from the 30 mark. Well, actually, no. Sorry. 5 seconds away from the 30 mark. DJ, 6. It's time that we bring this one home.
let's do it.
So this match essentially cemented Anarchy in the Arena as the ultimate party match.
Yep.
They took the tropes they've established from the last few years of doing it and played with them all to great effect. From the Bucks hijacking the New Jack spot where they play someone's music as everybody brawls. They say, no, turn that off. Play our music. And then Bryan Danielson hijacks them hijacking the New Jack spot. And he's like, fuck that. You play some real shit. And then they play Final Countdown.
For mad long.
to our yearly vehicular manslaughter attempt with Jack Perry trying to kill Darby with the little bus. Darby dive in time with the drop on the hook on Final Countdown. And after last year, of course, how can we not talk about this? After they teased Eddie Kingston setting the motherfucker on fire, they say, "Oh, you know what? Let's actually set somebody on fire this time." And they set Jack Perry on fire with a fucking flamethrower from Darby Allin. Listen. One of the main things, one of the simplest conventions in wrestling is if you introduce a weapon, then you got to at least try to use it. And they used it to great effect. I will say, on the other hand, I thought the funniest part of this match, easily, is how out of place Okada was.
Oh my God.
Because they're doing crowd brawling, they're in session stage fighting, they're hitting each other with shit, like I just said. Jack Perry tried to kill Darby with a bus. Darby set Jack Perry on fire. And in all this craziness, every time it cuts to Okada, he's just in the ring doing moves. Here's a suplex. Here's, quick go behind. Side headlock takeover. I'm in here wrestling. He used the chair like once or twice. But otherwise, Okada's main function in this match was just like, I guess, to kind of remind you, hey, this is a wrestling match. We got to win by wrestling. Like, it was just funny. Like, Okada's very obviously not a hardcore type wrestler, which is fine. Like, he still did fine in the match, but just he looked out of place at times. It was funny. In terms of ranking it, I think the first Anarchy in the Arena is still the GOAT. I think that's one of the best matches AEW's ever done. Like, that match, just in its own capsule, is just perfect.
Yep.
But this, again, the cementation of what Anarchy in the Arena is as a super crazy fun party match. And it's always going to be one of the best matches of the year. It's always going to be one of the most fun times you have watching wrestling all year. And that was this. And it was my match of the night. So highest of bars, just under a GOAT. I loved it. It was madness.
This match, man, this shit was insane. It was fun. It was crazy. It was everything you needed in an Anarchy in the Arena rules kind of match, man. It was fucking crazy. I'm going to echo a lot of the sentiments that TJ said just because, I mean, these were parts of the match that I enjoyed. The whole cutoff thing was hilarious. The music, when that shit went off, man, when Danielson said, nah, fuck that, play our shit. And they played that shit, man. I was mad when they took it off. I understand y'all can't pay for the entire night to just have that song playing in the background, but shit, if it wasn't fun while it was playing, and if it didn't make me miss the shit out of New Jack, like, it was so much fun. Darby having the studded mask with all the thumbtacks on it was crazy. Darby anything is crazy. The flamethrower was crazy. Lighting fucking Jungle Boy on fire was crazy. Then the Bucks putting him out with fire extinguishers was crazy. Then tying him up and holding him hostage up in the sky was crazy. Then the crowd absolutely going crazy because they're like, please help Darby, because he was just hanging there. It was crazy. Like everything about Kazuchika Okada showing the most fucking character I've ever seen him show in the entirety of me watching Okada matches. That shit was hilarious, bro. He was having way too much fun. When they were going to zoom in for the fuck you, that shit was great. The again, like TJ said, with the Rainmaker drive, all that shit, bro, all that shit, all of it. Bryan Danielson damn near being alone for a lot of it and just going absolutely crazy. When this dude got ran over by the bus again, and then Jungle, you see Jack Perry all fucked up inside of the vehicle. All of that shit. Everything in this match, motherfuckers flying off of shit was crazy. Beach balls in the crowd. When's the last time you seen a fucking beach ball at a goddamn wrestling show? Those used to be fun. They had a whole bunch. They were just having a great fucking time. And I had a great time. I was just tired at this point. And that's the fatigue that you get when Tony Khan books like a 20-match card. And it's like, bro, why? You can make it 4 hours. Nobody's going to cry about it. You can make it 3 hours. You can make it 3.5. Nobody's going to cry. We get it. You don't have as much pay-per-views as the other company. Doesn't matter. I'd rather have a 3.5 or 4 hour pay-per-view than the amount of matches. It'd be like 5, damn near 6 hours long at certain points. And I'm just like, yo, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm one of those people. I feel like I have ADHD. I'm not going to hold you. I feel like I have ADHD, a little bit of autism, a little bit of everything. Because to be honest, my attention span is like this, bro. Like, look, so I'm gonna zoom in so y'all you see me? That's my attention span. Yeah. I forget shit that quick, and it's just like if you doing matches that are like or shows that are just so heavy and so like eventually all I'm gonna remember is like the little touches. I'm not gonna remember the whole full show. Just gonna look at the whole show like what? Again, I rewatched the entirety of the show before coming on here. It is what it is, you know. And even then, I missed some shit that I forgot about. And it's just there's so much. It's so much, man. It's so much. And again, regardless, like I said, you know, it's tiring, especially on a Sunday night. You done everything you had to do Sunday morning and everything and all that. And now Sunday night, you just want to relax and watch some wrestling. And it's a fucking 4 or 5 hour show almost. So it's like, you know.
I mean, it looks like they're going to be going back to Saturday nights anyway, since the other company is going to start doing Sunday pay-per-views now.
Yeah. Regardless, I'm going to give this a GOAT. This is a GOAT match of the night.
Also, there's a lot of shit that happened, and
little shit pinned the big dogs.
Everybody here needs to be charged and arrested. Like, goddamn. We're talking about vehicular manslaughter, attempted drowning, carrying a class 3 weapon, fucking arson on a human.
Sorry.
Dude, I mean, this wasn't Anarchy in the Arena. This was a snuff film.
This needed more FTR, I feel like, though. I feel like FTR didn't do enough.
This was a snuff film just with Okada wrestling, because that's what he does. He does the wrestle, and I kind of like that. That he felt like the odd man out, but he was still doing his part. It wasn't like when Kota Ibushi showed up in Blood and Guts, and he looked like he forgot what the fuck he was supposed to do, and you know, he just looked lost. But, you know, even if Okada was out of place here, I still enjoyed all the fun that he had. Because, yeah, he was out there having fun. He was goofing off. He was playing the heel role perfectly. And it was really, really cool. Yeah, I called it. I wanted Jack Perry to get lit on fire. And I saw him get lit on fire. And I never screamed that loud in my life for a man lit on fire.
Yeah, shit was crazy.
I know, right? And yeah, Tony Khan, you know how to get your crowd, and you got me. You got me when you told this man that he was gonna get lit on fire, and it was so cool. But yeah, the vehicular manslaughter though, I don't know how the fuck Darby survived that. All I saw was truck garbage. I didn't see Darby. Where'd he go?
Shit.
I mean, FTR and the Young Bucks, they did their thing because we got to, focus on those guys because they got rivalry. And then back to the PWG stuff all over again. They pull out the Reeboks, and the Reeboks got fucking tacks under them, and they just start kicking and kicking and kicking. And they fucking hang Darby and kick him and kick him and kick him. And then blood. So much blood. Again, the ending was a little bit uncomfortable, and to the point where the crowd was like, please help this man. I don't care if there's a wrestling match. Help this man. He is bleeding profusely upside down. He could die that way.
Yeah, like get him out of there, B.
Like, get him the fuck out of there. Get him out of that contraption. We're always down for the chaos here. We are all down for the chaos here. But when I tell you that this was a snuff film, this was a snuff film. Oh, Okada being the wrestler that he is, he was Hulk Hogan in this match. Danielson goes for a fucking tope. The lightest chair shot ever. This man went bing. And it was...
That's what I was going to say. Okada was playing it safe with the chair shots. Not Nick. Nick said, what?
But Jungle Boy, why do I keep calling it? Jack Perry, taking into his father's footsteps, was playing the role of actor here pretty good. And kid can't act. When he hit the fucking garbage with the short bus that he be having House of Torture in, it looked like he actually died. It really looked like he died. And then he comes back, he grabs Tony, and Tony, once again, in fear for his life. Meanwhile, with this whole thing taking place, you got Darby here with this fucking flamethrower. And, oh, man, this was like, I hope there wasn't children in the audience watching this, because this is the absolute definition of do not try this at home. This is trained by the stunt professionals, okay? This was jackass shit here. And my first thought was, when I saw Tony roll down the ramp in that fucking ridiculous way they did, all I see is Darby with the flamethrower, Jack Perry, kill it with fire! And that was so... Like, we've seen guys go through tables with fire on them. But never in my life have I seen a Class C weapon in professional wrestling be used in a professional wrestling match on a professional wrestler. 50 flamethrowers. I don't give a shit. My God. My God, bro. This man, Jack Perry, was KFC. This man was KFC.
Man, he has his own. What is the equivalent in our rating system of 50 flamethrowers?
Oh no, probably the exact same, because I can't think of any right now.
The highest of goats or above goats, like a S tier.
No, it is the highest. That shit is like genuine.
So like S tier times 10. Okay,
that's like that's oh my God,
it's above and beyond.
All right.
Again, another beautiful massacre that took place here. This was not Anarchy in the Arena, gentlemen. This was a snuff film. There was a lot of attempted murder here. A lot of it. And everybody in the MGM, including us, are all witnesses, and we're probably going to have to testify in court. Yeah, 50 flamethrowers. This shit is amazing. This shit was amazing. I can't give it the benefit of the doubt that every now and then when there's an Anarchy in the Arena and the music's playing, true homage to New Jack. But my God, the fact that we got to hear Final Countdown for about 2 minutes before Matt was like, I'm dropping 200 grand on this shit. Turn it off. We're under our budget. You know what? Totally worth it. Because this match always has its goofy moments. And Okada was the goofy one here. You know, doing the facial expressions. The Rainmaker Drive street sign was cool. He probably took that home with him. And once again, it was great. Look, my heart says 50 flamethrowers, but it's getting S tier ranking of an equivalent of fucking 6 buses hitting Darby Allin.
Shit, my nigga, damn. Poor Darby. Poor Darby.
The man's a fucking masochist. What are you talking about, poor Darby?
I still feel bad for that motherfucker, bro. I feel bad for people getting hurt sometimes. It happens.
Tell him to stop.
I can't. That's what he want to do.
All right, then. So don't feel bad for the man that loves.
I'm still gonna feel bad because that shit. I know that shit hurt.
Bro, he is a living Vin Diesel movie, the Triple X movie. That's what he is.
What?
Do you remember the Vin Diesel Triple X movies? The extreme shit? Yeah, that. I'm not talking about porn, you fucking idiot.
Oh, I know, but
No, but it's fucking yo,
let me gimmick, bro. Let me
match of the night, worst match of the night, and final grade for the show.
This is easy. Match of the night is Anarchy in the Arena. Worst match of the night is the FTW title match. Overall grade for the show, I'm gonna give it a solid B plus. I think the highs were very, very high. And then actually the show was just very consistent across the board. Like nothing was really too bad. I just think the problem that sort of ran through the show and sort of held it back throughout there was all the interference, all the schmoziness, all the bullshit. I think I've always said this about AEW, and that you will hear that critique sometimes that they don't tell stories, which is bullshit. It's never been true. It's always been nonsense. And I've always said, in contrast to it, if anything, they tell too many stories. And I think this pay-per-view was an exhibition of that, in that they have so many little mini stories going on with different, like you could point to it even at points throughout the review, like Hazel talked about with the women's title match. You got Serena Deeb feuded with Toni Storm, but in the meantime, they're building up Mariah May to eventually turn on Toni Storm. So they do this thing where they feud with the Outcasts for a few years. That's 3 separate stories in one match. Like, they tell so many stories that sometimes they become unfocused and things sort of fall apart and get a little wacky, which is what I thought happened across the card, even though mostly everything, the wrestling and all that was good. That's the thing with AEW. They'll never have a bad pay-per-view in terms of pure wrestling matches because the roster is way too fucking good. But it's just the little itty-bitty things that they got to tighten up here and there. But overall, I don't want to sound too negative because I really did enjoy the show. So, solid B. Solid B+.
6.
This was a good show. It was, I would say, solid B+, I guess, because it was so it was a decent show. The interferences, it's not even something that I really noticed. Again, my biggest problem was more about, because I expected a lot of interference, like just based on what the storylines were telling us. You kind of like put the context clues together. I expected a lot of shenanigans. My beef with it is that, bro, it doesn't have to be this long. I enjoy long wrestling shows when it's on a Saturday and I got the energy, but I feel like he'd be doing these Sunday pay-per-views and it'd be like damn near 5-6 hours long. I'm like, who? Us, because we have different type of working schedules, and I don't work I'm not like working full-time right now. I'm kind of in the process of situations. With that shit going on, you feel me? Like, it kind of sucks, bro, to just have a show that's that crazy long, and anybody who actually does have something to do, like they're basically sacrificing their own sleep to be able to freaking watch this. So it's a rough situation. I would say though, again, the interferences, some of them I feel like were completely dumb. I feel like some of the matches shouldn't have even been booked here. because of the fact that they didn't add anything to the show. There was no reason for them to be there. There was no real build to them. And that's why I feel like, again, just cut it down a bit. It doesn't have to be that long. Again, the matches and everything was good. Everything was actually, decent. It's just that, So I'm going to just give it a B plus.
You don't got a best match, worst match?
I already said best match of the night was the Anarchy in the Arena. Worst match, I don't think there was a real worst match. Just I don't, because here's the thing. I enjoyed the match. It's just I didn't feel like it was necessary, and that was the Moxley and Takeshita match. It wasn't for a title. It was no big deal about it. I mean, there was a little, scufflebutt here and there about it, but it was unnecessary. Oh my God. I just saw the exploding chair.
But yeah, the exploding fucking chair. I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, it's that so much happened, bro. I forgot about FTR putting power driving motherfuckers through the giant chips. Like there was so much happened, bro. That's what I'm telling you. It's like if you would have taken away some of those other matches, we probably would remember some of that. But yeah. Worst, like I said, worst match. I don't really consider a worst match, man. I don't consider nothing a worst match. It's just that match I feel like shouldn't have been on the card because it had no point to.
Well, worst match, Orange and Trent. Wrong person won. And it kind of hurt Trent in the long run because fuck. You get the win back now. It wouldn't mean anything in the long run because it should have just happened here. That's my worst match of the night. I'm sorry, I can't give it to Anarchy in the Arena, even though it was too chaotic and it looked like somebody could have died. I have to give it to the Barbed Wire Steel Cage match because there was more story. We got what we wanted, what we should have gotten last year. We got Gangrel, we got our blood, we got our chaos, we got the evil stuff. Thank you, Tony, but fuck you at the same time. Biggest issue, too many interferences throughout the entire show. Trent and Orange didn't even get an interference, which astounds me. That we gotta chill out with that. And with Forbidden Door coming up, I think hopefully you would learn your lesson that the interferences were probably a big issue going forward into the show, because the fact that it kept going, it was starting to tire me out. And fucking hell. Another thing, again, we can't be doing this 10-match card, bro. It's too fucking long. This shit was 4.5 fucking hours. Plus the 0 hour, 5.5 when I went live. And we had to watch the fucking media scrum while we were doing the sim, which was probably the most positive thing that we got because, like I told you, they went from talking 15, 20 minutes to now cutting them down to 8, 10 minutes tops. And Tony did so much talking that Tanahashi was just sitting there next to him, and he only said a couple of words, but Tony just basically spoke for everything.
Well, like I said last night, they had the chance to ask Tanahashi questions, and only one person even did. So that's not anybody's fault, but the media, really.
They should have just had an interpreter for Tanahashi if that was the case.
They should have, but they didn't even ask him anything, so there would have been any use for the interpreter anyway. Only one person asked him anything.
But at least to translate the question, because what if he actually had something to say?
They didn't ask him. They could have asked him. Like there was like, again, you're harping about Tanahashi being out there, but
that they would have asked him. The interpreter would have just said word for word what the question was to Tony, so that Hiroshi would understand what's going on in the scrum.
But the question was to Tony. It wasn't to Tanahashi. Like they were like, you want an answer from Tanahashi for out of about what AEW's next touring stop or whatever? Like Tanahashi doesn't have anything to say about that. Like he's there.
Something.
Whatever.
I just felt it was unnecessary. Like it was just weird for him just to sit there. Why? Because I brought him in on Saturday to compete. Cool.
He brought him in on Saturday. He's the president, and they're doing Forbidden Door next. That's why he was there. That's all. That's all it was.
Let's see what happens. Since Wednesday we have the Battle Royal where the winner will be facing Swerve for the championship at Forbidden Door. And hopefully by the time we're done watching Dominion, we'll have a definitive opponent for Moxley at Forbidden Door as well. But yeah, I'm going to give the show an A. It was a very good show. Very good show. Just stop with the interference. Stop making your shows 4.5 fucking hours. We have to put that to an end.
Just stop doing so much interference.
So yes, the next title defense going forward will be Dominion, Forbidden Door after, and then will probably be Money in the Bank and then SummerSlam. If there's not an AEW pay-per-view going on in July. But it looks like, where the fuck are you? Oh, there we go. Where it looks like there's been enough talk here. It is time to bring it home. But we will be back on Twitch.tv, where we will commence come Tuesday TV X-Men. Stay tuned for that. TJ, it is now time to tell all the Ramble Maniacs and BC aliens where to find us.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
You already know where to find us. Find us on Instagram at Ramblemania Show, at Banter Club Podcast. Find us on Twitter at Ramblemania. Facebook.com/Ramblemania Show. Also find us at Ramblemania Show's Banter Club. We Need Other Us's podcast is already associated with us. All our goings on and all that's going down. As far as audio, we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere podcasts found, search Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. As far as visuals, Twitch.tv/Ramblemania Show. We are on Spotify video. We are on YouTube. Search Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. When you get here, like the videos, click subscribe, click the bell so that when new content drops, it goes straight to you.
Yeah.
As far as me personally, find me on Instagram at TJ the Great One. That's TJ the GR, the number 8, the number 1. Find me on Twitter at TJ the Great. That's TJ the GR, the number 8. It's as simple as that.
TJ the Great.
TJ the Great.
You can find me on Instagram at the number 6, the letter X, the letter L. That is at 6XL. You can find me on Twitter, SIIXX. Ain't I great? I'm gonna cut off. I don't use that shit. So just hit me up on Instagram at 6XL.
As always, find me on Instagram at iZombies, IZOMB, IIESZ. Oh yeah, and stay tuned for all the other streams that we got coming up throughout the week. For TJ the Great, for the Angel of Dub 6XL, I am your Ramblemania Heavyweight Champion, Hazel the iZombie. This has been our AEW Double or Nothing 2024 review here. I want to wish all of you out there a point of goodies.
Too sweet.
And good fight. And good night. Guns up.
I'll pull out the Glock, put it on his forehead, and spill his brains all over the concrete.